Good morning, students. Welcome back to online class. How are you, students? I hope you all are fine and safe. Students, now we are learning economics part, is it? From economics part, which lesson we are learning now? Have you remember, students? Very good. Now we are learning economics lesson 2, globalization and trade, is it? First of all, I am going to recall few important points about in this lesson. Listen very careful, students. In the first class, we learned about globalization, trade and the history of globalization. Is it? First of all, I am going to ask one question. What is globalization? Globalization is the process of interaction and integration among people, companies, and governments in worldwide. Then, what is meant by trade? Trade means to buy and sell goods and services. Trade means to buy and sell goods and services. From this lesson, first we learned about the history of globalization. The globalization can be discussed on three stages, is it? What are the three stages? Have you remember, students? Very good. The first one is archaic globalization, second one is proto-globalization, and the third one is modern globalization. That explanation also we learned, is it? Then, in the second class, we learned about South Indian traders and globalization in India. Now listen, South Indian trade were formed by very good merchants, is it? South Indian trade were formed by merchants. Why they formed South Indian trade? To organize and expand their trading activities, is it? To expand their trading activities, they form the traders, the merchants form the South Indian trade. Okay, then from there, we learned about some of the countries or contact the South Indian traders. Mainly, six countries traders are contact with the Indian traders. Have you remember, students, what are the countries traders are contact with Indian traders? Very good. There are five countries traders are mainly contact with Indian traders. The first one is European traders. Second one is the Portuguese, the Dutch, then the British, then the Danes, the French. Is it? These are the countries traders are contact with Indian traders. They came by some of the sea routes to India or other areas. Okay, these are the things we learned in the second class. Then, in the previous class, we learned about MNC. MNC means very good multinational corporation. Is it? MNC means multinational corporation. Students, listen very careful. First, we can recollect a few important points about previous class portion. Okay, multinational corporation. It is a cooperative organization. Is it? It is the cooperative organization. Then from there, first we learned about the evaluation of multinational companies. Okay, multinational corporations. Like East India Company, MNC also came to India as a trade company. It as a trading company. Then next we learned about the growth of MNC in India. Next we learned about the growth of MNC in India. Listen, the MNC participation in Indian industry is entering into cooperation with Indian industrialists. Is it? Then it increased flow of foreign direct investment. It increased flow of foreign direct investment. Then next we learned about reasons for the growth of MNC. Next we learned about reason for the growth of MNC. Mainly five important things are give development for MNC. Is it? We learned about five important things are give development for MNC. The first one is expansion of market territory. Second one is marketing superiorities. Third one is financial superiorities. Fourth one is technological superiorities. Fifth one is product innovation. These are the 5 important things give development for MNC. Is it that all explanation also we learned? Then finally we learned about advantages of MNC and disadvantages of MNC. I gave that exercises also. I hope you learned that all things. Is it, students? Those who did not learn, you should prepare well. Okay, students, now let us come forward to today's class. Okay, today I am going to teach fair trade practices and World Trade Organization. Today I am going to teach fair trade practices and World Trade practices. Okay, listen, first of all, I am going to teach fair trade practices. Okay, listen, students. Fair trade is a way of doing business. It aims to keep small farmers an active part of the world market, aim to empower the consumer to make purchases to their products. Listen very careful, students. That means it is a way of doing business. Fair trade is a way of doing business. The main aim of the fair trade is to bring the farmers in active part of the world market. Okay, and also it needed to empower the consumer to make purchase their products. That means to encourage the consumers to purchase the products. Okay, next I am going to teach some of the importance of fair trade. Okay, some of the importance of fair trade. Listen, the first one is uh, listen very careful, students. This fair trade raising the incomes of small scale farmers, farm workers and artisans. Listen very careful, students. The first importance is it raising the incomes of small scale farmers, farm workers and artisans. Okay, then the second one is to distribute the wealth equally, giving job opportunities, and it form the organization to sell their production. Listen very careful, students. Secondly, to distribute the wealth equally, giving job opportunities, and it form the organization to sell their production. Okay, then the third one is fair trade increasing the organizational and commercial capitals of producers group. Listen very careful, students. The third one is fair trade increasing the organizational and commercial capitals of producer group. Okay, then the fourth one is fair trade promote the labor's rights and it organize the workers' right. The fair trade promote the labor's rights and it organize the workers' right. Okay. Then the last one is it promote safe and sustainable farming methods and working conditions. Listen very careful, students. The fair trade promote safe and sustainable farming methods and working condition. Okay, and also fair trade is about better prices, decent working conditions, and it bring development among farmers and workers. Listen very careful, students. Fair trade is about better prices, decent working conditions, and it bring development among farmers and workers. Okay, then next I am going to teach the principles of fair trade organization. Okay, next I am going to teach the principles of fair trade organization. Now listen very careful, students. The fair trade organization create opportunities for economically weak producers. It create opportunities for economically weak producers. Okay. Then second one is transparency and accountability. Then third one is fair trading practices and payment of fair price. Listen very careful. Fair trading practices and payment of fair price. That means it helps to sell their products in low price. That means it helps to sell their products in low price. Okay, then the fourth one is ensuring no child labor and forced labor. That means it abolished the child labor and forced labor. Okay, the fair trade abolished the child labor and forced labor. Okay, then the next one is it brings gender equality and freedom of association. It bring gender equality. Gender equality, that means the male or female all are equal. Okay, it bring gender equality and freedom of association. Okay, then the next one is it improve the talent of producers and it promote fair building. It improve the talent of producers and it promote fair buildings. Okay, then the last one is it respect the environment. The fair trade respect the environment. Okay, these are the important principles of fair trade organization. Okay, students, next I am going to teach GATT. Listen very careful, students. Next I am going to teach GATT. GATT means General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. Listen very careful, students. GATT means General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. Okay. It was signed by 23 countries. Listen very careful, students. The General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs are signed by 23 countries. Among that countries, India is one of the founder member of GATT. Listen very careful, students. The GATT was signed by 23 countries. Among that countries, India is one of the founder member of GATT. Okay. It was found in the year 1947. GATT, that means General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. It was found in the year 1947. Okay. Then Arthur Dungal was the Director General of GATT. Arthur Dungal was the Director General of GATT. He finalized this act. So this act is known as Dung Draft. Okay, then GATT main aim is to increase international trade by reducing various tariffs. Okay, tariffs means tax, quota and subsides. Subsides means less intense. Okay, while maintaining meaningful regulations. Listen, GATT main aim is to increase international trade by reducing various taxes. Tariffs means taxes, quotas and subsides. Subsides means less intense. Okay, while maintaining meaningful regulations. Okay, students. Now listen, the first GATT round of conference is held in Geneva. The first round meeting is held in Geneva. Geneva is in Switzerland. Geneva is in Switzerland in the year 1947. Okay, the first GATT round meeting is held in Geneva in the year 1947. Okay, then the second meeting is held in the place of Annecy. Annecy, it is in France in the year 1949. Okay, then the third one is Torquay. It is in UK. It was held, in this meeting is held in the year 1950 to 1951. Then the fourth, fifth and sixth meetings were held in the places of Geneva. Held in the place of Geneva. Geneva is in Switzerland in the year 1956, 1960-61, 1964-67. Okay, that means the fourth, fifth and sixth round meeting is held in Geneva. The fourth meeting is held in 1956. Fifth meeting is held in the year 1960-61 and the sixth meeting is held in the year 1964-67. Okay. Then the seventh round meeting of GATT is held in Tokyo. Tokyo is in Japan. Okay, Tokyo is in Japan in the year 1973 to 79. 1973 to 79. Then eighth and final round at at Punta del East in 1986. That means Uruguay. The 8th round meeting of GATT is held in Uruguay in the year 1986 to 1994. It is known as Uruguay round. It is known as Uruguay round. Okay. Can you understand, students? Listen very careful. GATT was signed by how many countries, students? Very good. It was signed by 23 countries. It was signed by 23 countries. India also one of the founder member of GATT. Then Arthur Dungal came up with a draft final act known as Dung draft. That means who finalized this GATT means Arthur Dungal. Did you see the picture, students? He is Arthur Dungal. Okay. He finalized the draft. Then it is get the name Dungal draft. Okay. It get the name Dung draft. Okay. It was signed in the year 1947. It was signed in the year 1947. Then there are 8 round meetings were held. That particular places also explained. That is very important one word question. You should read well. Okay, students. Then next I am going to teach World Trade Organization. Next I am going to teach World Trade Organization. Okay, listen very careful, students. World WTO. WTO means World Trade Organization. Okay, the final GATT Act was signed in the year 1994 at Uruguay round meeting. Now listen, final round meeting of GATT. That means in the 8th meeting. Okay, in the 8th meeting is the final meeting. Okay, the final GATT Act was signed in the year 1994 at Uruguay round meeting. In this act paved the way for setting up of the WTO. Mainly, the final GATT Act was paved the way for setting up of the WTO. Okay, in this agreement was signed by 104 member nations. In this agreement was signed by 104 member nations. Then this WTO agreement came into force from January 1st, 1995. Okay, then listen, the headquarters, that means the headquarters of World Trade Organization is Geneva in Switzerland. The headquarters is Geneva in Switzerland. The purpose, that means why they form the World Trade Organization means the regulation and international trade, to regulate the international trade. For the purpose of regulating international trade, they form the World Trade Organization. Then who are the members of this organization means Director General, 4 Deputy Director General and other 600 official staff. Listen very careful, student. The members of WTO is Director General, 4 Deputy Director General, 600 official staffs. Okay, around 80 member countries are joined this organization. 80 member countries. Okay, 80 member countries. Okay, listen very careful, student. Now see the picture. This is the World Trade Organization headquarters. World Trade Organization. It is situated in Geneva. Okay, this organization is situated in Geneva in Switzerland. Okay, Geneva in Switzerland. The WTO agreement came into force from January 1st, 1995. Okay, January 1st, 1995. Okay, students. Then the next one is objectives of WTO. The next one is objectives of WTO. Listen very careful, students. To set the trade and enforce the rules for international trade. The first aim is to set the trade and enforce the rule for international trade. Okay, then the second important objectives of WTO is it support the international trade to free flowing goods and services. It supports the international trade to free flowing goods and services. Okay. Then the third one is the main aim of World Trade Organization is to solve the trade disputes. The third one is the main aim of World Trade Organization is to solve the trade disputes. Okay, that means between the problems of trading areas. Then the fourth one is it introduces at the sustainable development and environment can go together. It introduces at the sustainable development and environment can go together. Then the next one is to ensure developing countries secure a better share of growth in world India. To ensure developing countries to secure a better share of growth in world trade. Okay. Then the last point is it ensure full employment and increase and effective demand. The last point is it ensure full employment and increase and effective demand. Okay. Then next I am going to teach TRIPS. TRIPS. Next I am going to teach TRIPS. Okay. Now listen, TRIPS, that means trade related aspects of intellectual property rights. The next one is trade related aspects of intellectual property rights. Okay. Listen students, the intellectual property rights may be defined as information with a commercial value. Listen, the intellectual property rights may be defined as information with a commercial value. Okay, this agreement covers 7 areas of intellectual property rights. Okay, this agreement covers 7 areas of intellectual property rights. Okay, okay students, next I am going to teach impact and challenges of globalization. Next I am going to teach impact of challenges of globalization. From here, positive impact is there and negative impact also there. First of all, I am going to teach the positive impact. First of all, I am going to teach positive impact. Okay. The first positive impact is a better economy introduces rapid development of the capital market. The better economy introduces rapid development. Rapid means moving with great speed. Rapid means moving with great speed. Okay, the better economy introduce moving with great speed. That means it develop of capital market. Okay, speedily it develop the capital market. Okay, then the second one is standard of living has increased. Standard of living has increased. That means it increases the standard life of people. It increases the standard life of people. Okay, then the next one is globalization rapidly increase better trade so that more people are employed. Globalization rapidly, that means speedily. Okay, speedily increase better trade. Better trade means to help everyone achieve financial security. To help everyone achieve financial security so that more people will get employed. Okay, more people will get job. Then the next one is it introduced new technologies. It introduced new technologies and new scientific research pattern. It introduced new technologies and new scientific research pattern. That means because of that, it improved financial condition. That means it improved. They are showing some of the techniques through their trading areas. So in this area they improve the financial condition. Then next one is globalization increasing the GDP of a country. Because of globalization, our country's GDP were increased. GDP means gross domestic product, is it? Because of globalization, our country's GDP also increased. Then the last positive impact is it helps to increase in free flow of goods and also to increase foreign direct investment. It helps to increase free flow of goods and services. It helps to increase freely they are sending goods and services from one country to other country. Okay, and also to increase foreign direct investment. To increase foreign direct investment. Okay. Then the next one is negative impact. The next one is negative impact. Listen, students, too much flow of capital amongst countries, it introduced unfair and immoral distributors of income. The first negative impact is too much flow of capital. That means more products are export and imports from one country to other country. So too much of flow of capital amongst countries, so it introduces unfair means not treat each person equally. Unfair means not treat each person equally. Okay, and immoral means doing wrong. Immoral means doing wrong. Okay, immoral distributors of income. That means they are unequally distributing their income. That is one of the main negative impact. Okay, then the next one is another fear is losing national integrity. Listen very careful, students, because the second negative impact is losing national integrity. That means among the people's unity were loose. Okay, they are losing their national integrity, unity. Because of too much exchange of trade, independent domestic policies also lost. Because of too much exchange of trade, okay, too much exchange of trade, the independent domestic policies also lost. Okay. Then the next one is rapid growth of economy has required a major infrastructure and resources extraction. Rapid growth of economy, that means more growth of speedily growth of economy has required a major infrastructure and resource extraction. Extraction means act of taking something out. Extraction means act of taking something out. This increases negative ecological and social cost. It increases negative ecological and social cost. Okay. Then next one is rapidly increases in exploitation of natural resources to earn foreign exchanges. Okay, because of speed flowing goods and services, it exploit our natural resources. Okay, it exploit our natural resources. Then the last point is environmental standards and regulations have been relaxed. The last point is environmental standards and regulations have been relaxed. Relaxed means stress. S-T-R-E-S, stress. Okay. Then these are the important negative impact of globalization. Okay. Then the last one is challenges of globalization. The last topic is challenges of globalization. Okay. Students, listen very careful. This is on 5-mark question. Okay, this is on 5-mark question. So, listen very careful. Now, listen, the first one is the benefits of globalization extend to all countries. That will not happen automatically. The benefits of globalization extend to all countries. That will not happen automatically. Okay, then the second one is the fear that globalization leads to instability in the developing world. The fear that globalization leads to instability in the developing world. Instability means unstable. Instability means unstable. Okay. Then the third one is the industrial world that increased global competition will lead in race to the bottom in wages, labor rights and employment practices. Now listen very careful, students. The industrial world increased the global competition. That means the countries are led in race to the bottom in wages, labor rights and employment practices. Okay. Then the next one is it leads to global imbalance. It leads to global imbalance. Imbalance means inequality. Imbalance means inequality. Okay. Then, globalization has led to an increase in activities such as child labor and slavery. Globalization has led to an increase the activities of child labor and slavery. Okay. Then the next one is people started consuming more junk food there because many companies, many industries are formed that particular most of the industries they produce some of the junk food. So people started to consume more junk food. This caused the degradation of health and spread of diseases. That means it affect the health of the people and it spread the diseases for the people, diseases to the people. Okay. Finally, globalization has led to environmental degradation. Finally, globalization has led to environmental degradation. Okay, these are the challenges of globalization. Can you understand, students? Shall we recall the points? Students, in this class we learned about fair trade practices and World Trade Organization. Is it? Fair trade. First we learned about fair trade. Fair trade is a way of doing business. Is it? Fair trade is a way of doing business. The main aim of fair trade is to bring the farmers in active part of the world market. Is it? And also it needed to empower the consumer to make purchase their products. That means to encourage the consumers to purchase their products. Okay. Then from here we learned about some of the importance of fair prices, that also you learned, students. Then next we learned about the principles of fair trade organization. Is it? Some of the principles of fair trade organization. For example, from there first we learned about it create opportunities for economically weak producers, transparency and accountability, fair trade practices and payment for fair price, then ensuring no child labor and forced labor. It brings gender equality and freedom of association. It improve the talent of producers and promote fair buildings. Then the last point is it respect the environment. Is it? These are the things we learned from the principles of fair trade. Okay. Then next we learned about GATT. Is it? Next we learned about GATT. GATT means very good. General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. Is it? General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. Then how many countries are signed GATT? Very good. 23 countries. Is it? 23 countries are signed GATT. Okay. Then it was found in the year 1947. Very good. It was found in the year 1947. One of the Director General finalized this draft. Is it? Who is that person? Very good. Arthur Dungal. Is it? Arthur Dungal was the Director General of GAT. He finalized this act. So this act is known as Dunk Draft. Is it? This act is known as Dunk Draft. Then next we learned about some of the meetings, about GAT's meetings. Is it? The first meeting is held in Geneva in the year, very good, 1947. Is it? Then the second meeting is held in Annecy, it is in France, in the year 1947. Then third meeting, UK, that Torquay, that is in UK. UK means United Kingdom, England. Okay. It is held in 1950 to 51. Fourth, fifth and sixth meetings are held in, very good, Geneva. Is it? In the year 1956, 60 to 61, 64 to 67. Then seventh round meeting is held in Tokyo. Tokyo is in Japan. Okay, in the year 1973 to 79. The last round meeting is held in Uruguay in the year 1986 to 1994. So it is known as Uruguay round. Is it? These are the things we learned from GATT. That means General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. Okay. Then next we learned about World Trade Organization. World Trade Organization. The final act was signed in the place of Uruguay. That means in the Uruguay round meeting, the final act was they signed in the year 1994. Okay, the final act was signed in the year 1994. It paved the way for setting up of the WTO. WTO means World Trade Organization. Okay, the World Trade Agreement was came into force in which year? Very good. January 1st, 1995. Okay, January 1st, 1995. Then the headquarters of World Trade Organization is very good. Geneva in Switzerland. Is it? Why they form World Trade Organization? Very good. To regulate the international trade. Okay, to regulate the international trade. Okay. Then who are the members of World Trade Organization? Excellent. The Director General, 4 Deputy Director General and 600 official staff. Okay. Then how many country members are joined this organization? Very good. 80 countries members are joined this organization. Is it? These are the things we learned from World Trade Organization. Next we learned about the objectives of WTO. The important games of WTO. Is it? The first one is it set the trade and enforce the rules for international trade. Then it supports the international trade to free flowing goods and services. Then it solve the trade disputes. Is it? It solve the trade disputes. It introduce and development of environmental can go together. Then it ensure developing countries to better share of growth in the world. It ensure full employment and increase and effective demand. These are the main objectives of WTO. Is it? Then next we learned about TRIPS. TRIPS. What is meant by TRIPS, students? Trade related aspects of intellectual property rights. Okay, intellectual property rights. It may be defined as information with a commercial value. Is it? It defined as information with a commercial value. This agreement cover how many areas, students? 7 areas of intellectual property rights. Okay, then next, we learned about impact and challenges of globalization. From impact, positive impact and negative impact we learned. Is it? Some of the positive impact and negative impact we learned. Then finally, we learned about challenges of globalization. Finally, we learned about challenges of globalization. It is one 5-mark question. Challenges of globalization. That means it benefits of globalization extend to all countries that will not happen automatically. Is it? Then the fear that globalization leads to instability to the developing world. Instability means unstable. Okay, then the industrial world that increased global competition. Okay, it increased the global competition will raise to the bottom in wages, labor rights and employment practices. Okay, then it leads to global imbalance. Imbalance means inequality. Imbalance means inequality. Then globalization has led to an increase in activities such as child labor and slavery. That means because of globalization, the child labor is increased and slavery also came. Okay. Then people started consuming more junk food. They form more industries. Okay, globalize, they form more industries. So most of the industries they produce some of the junk food. People started consuming more junk food. So it affect the health of the people and it spread some of the diseases. Okay. Finally, we learned about the globalization has led to environmental degradation. That means it pollute the environment. The globalization has pollute the environment. Okay, these are the things we learned in this class. Students, I completed this lesson. Now all are take a book, turn the exercise page. Now you all are take the book, turn exercise page number 310. Page number 310. Choose the correct answer. Choose the correct answer. First question. Who Who is the head of World Trade Organization? Answer is Director General. Answer is Director General. Then second question, colonial advent in India. Answer is A option. Portuguese, Dutch, English, Spanish, French. Okay, A option. Third question, GATT's first round held in dash. Geneva, D option. Answer is Geneva. Okay. Then fourth question, India signed the Duncan proposal in dash. Okay, answer is 1994. D option. Answer is 1994. Then fifth question, who granted the English Golden Fireman in 1632? Answer is Sultan of Golconda. Answer is Sultan of Golconda. B option. Then the sixth question, foreign investment policy announced in dash. Foreign investment policy announced in dash. Answer is July to August 1991. July to August 1991. Then the seventh one is Indian government was introduced dash in 1991. Answer is new economic policy. Important one word. Okay. New economic policy. C option. Then Roman number 2, fill in the blanks. First question, a better economy introduce rapid development of the dash. Answer is capital market. Right students? Write the answer. Capital market. CAPITAL capital market. Then the second one is WTO agreement came into force from January 1st, 1995. Answer is January 1st, 1995. Then the third one is the term globalization invented by Professor Theodore Levitt. The term globalization invented by Professor Theodore Levitt. Theodore Theodore Levitt. Levitt. Okay. Then Roman number 3, match the following. First question, multinational corporation in India. Answer is Infosys. 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 Second question is MNC. Answer is minimize cost of production. Minimize cost of production. Third one is GATT. Answer is 1947. GATT. Answer is 1947. Fourth one is 8th Uruguay round. 8th Uruguay round. Answer is 1986. 1986. Then fifth one is WTO. Answer is Enforce International Trade. Answer is Enforce International Trade. Okay. Then Roman number 4. Give short answers. Give short answers. First 4 questions already I gave. Is it? First 4 questions already I gave. The fifth question is, what is fair trade? Page number 307. What is fair trade? Page number 307. Page number 307. Okay. What is fair trade? 307. Fair trade practices and World Trade Organization heading. That first paragraph. Fair trade is a way of doing business from there to support their values. Up to support their values. Okay. Then the sixth question. Write any 2 principles of fair trade practices. Write any 2 principles of fair trade practices. Page number 307. Page number 307. Principles of Fair Trade Organization heading. That first 2 points. Okay. Creating opportunities for economically advantaged producers. Transparency and accountability. That 2 points you will mark. Okay. Then question number 7. Write short note on trips and trims. Write short note on trips and trims. In this question, you refer the guide. Okay, trips alone given in a book. Trims answer is not here. So, refer the guide. Okay, 7th question, refer the guide. Students, you refer the guide. Then the 8th question, write any 2 positive impact of globalization. Any 2 positive impact of globalization. Page number 308. Positive impact heading, first 2 points. Page number 308, positive impact heading. first 2 points. Okay. Then Roman number 5, brief answer. First question already I gave. Is it advantages and disadvantages of MNC I gave. Then the second question you will mark. Write about the World Trade Organization, page number 308. Page number 308. World Trade Organization heading. That paragraph fully. Then one box inside given a blue color box, that fully. Then objectives of World Trade Organization fully. Up to objectives of World Trade Organization, last point. That means to ensure full employment and broad increase in effective demand. Up to there you will mark. Then the last question, write the challenges of globalization. Write the challenges of globalization, page number 309. Page number 309. Challenges of globalization. There 7 points are given. Is it? The benefits of globalization, first point. From there to last point. Globalization has led to environmental degradation. Up to there. Okay, that all 7 points you should mark. This is an important 5-mark question. Okay, students, I completed this lesson. I gave all the book exercises also. So you should prepare well. Okay, students, we will meet the next class. Thank you.